We're joined by Jerry with his mullet and his Magnum Tash. How are you doing, Jerry?
Happy New Year, mate.
Happy New Year. How you been?
I'm all right. Didn't have anything crazy going on last night, but I'm just a little bit tired because obviously we stayed up quite late, so just a bit tired, but didn't have much on today, so it's all good. What about you?
Oh, I've been looking hard at blinds all day and night, mate. Paranoid to left, it's on top. They're coming for me.
They're
Uh,
finally coming for you.
yeah. I try and behave myself nowadays, but it's hard, isn't it, where I'm from? Uh, you know what? I'm going to ask you this, and I want you to be real honest with me, Jerry.
Yeah,
Is it overkill, this Fury robbery thing from Bricktop? Yes or no?
100% yes. 100% yes, Ross. It's kind of mind-boggling that that Bricktop hasn't accepted defeat on this. The guy must be just super sold on everything that Fury can offer him in terms of making cash, but he needs to accept that the guy's been beaten twice thoroughly, and the gravy train has ended for him, and the only thing they can really do now is you know, stick around for possible fight with Joshua for the peanuts left. I just sort of caught a headline there regarding the shorts thing about someone accusing Fury of cheating and that whole thing, and it looked like Bricktop lost his mind over that accusation, and we all know his shorts are too high, so I think the guy's lost his mind. I
Yeah.
really do, mate. So it's complete overkill. Overkill is the correct way to describe it.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? I just think
Absolutely.
that I know I've just had Terry on and he's more or less coming out with, well, they've got to keep the money in Fury, but let's have it right. He got bladdered. Get over it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, mate. Terry's right. That's why it's such a sore spot for Frank. Because he obviously put all his eggs on Fury and was hoping to just exploit the whole situation for as long as he could. But this little middleweight from Ukraine's come around, and he's pummeled him for two fights now, and he's totally screwed up the whole script. But I mean, good good men know when they're beat, in my opinion. So Bricktop needs to get over it fast, otherwise he's probably gonna leave a ghost behind, mate, because he's gonna die that unhappy that Tyson Fury was beaten. You know what I mean? It's not good for his health, mate.
Yeah. Not good for his health at all, is it?
No, he's lost his mind. Why doesn't he focus on the young guy that he's got now, Atoma, and think about steering him correctly? I guess it's part of this whole Tyson Fury, uh, this whole illusion and thing that Fury seems to be able to do to people. He just seems to get inside their heads, doesn't he, and make everybody love him, apart from us. But you know what I mean. But I think a lot of fans now, even the casual fans now, Russ, they've they realise they've been sold a dummy. A large percentage of them have realised. I think there's enough people out there now, sort of saying, "We told you so," um, and you know they now realise that it's all been a bit of a dummy they've been sold. So that obviously doesn't help Tyson Fury anymore. Try and convince people of this great status that he supposedly has. So yeah, it's just pretty salty from Bricktop on the whole situation.
Yeah. Uh, you see, thing is, if I say, oh, you're a hater. I'm not an hater. I'm a realist and I deal in statistics. Go look at Fury's CV. Give me his best 6 wins. And there's an asterisk next to every single one of them, apart from the first Wilder win, isn't there?
Yeah, you know, I always bring this up. Like, he's fought very little of the sort of top 10, top 15 opponents that
Yeah.
have been in his generation. The CV speaks volumes. How many times do we need to tell people this? I always think back to conversations I had with, just the kind of casual fans, in work. And they all be like, "Oh, Fury, he's a big guy though. I don't think this small guy can beat him. He's just too big." I've even heard experienced fans saying the same thing. He's just too big, and I'm going, "Are you for real?" Like, I just, it shocks me as well that they're just blinded by this size thing. It's crazy. It's just crazy talk. But the CV speaks volumes, and you know, just his attitude in general to looking after himself. He's hardly an elite athlete. How could you say Tyson Fury was an elite athlete whenever, he makes fun of the fact that he gets fat between fights, and the fact that he doesn't do the work that is necessary to get into the proper shape that you expect an elite athlete to be in, sort of makes you think he's taking the piss on fans, really. That whole sort of, you guys have all bought this opinion that I'm the greatest ever, and that means I don't need to do any work now because you're already convinced.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mind blowing what's going off. Do you think this fight with Joshua is going to happen, Jerry?
Yeah, I was just thinking about this earlier. I'm just trying to think of a time frame because obviously, well, the Dubois fight with AJ was a while ago, so and I couldn't see Fury jumping in anytime soon. Obviously, so does that mean AJ's going to have room for a like a warm up kind of move around type of fight in between? He shouldn't, obviously. He should fight somebody reasonable who's in the top 10, somebody at the bottom, because obviously he should be back at the back of the queue now. He's had was that 3 consecutive losses? Or hang on, I'm losing my mind now because I don't really give a crap about his record. Like, but he's been knocked out anyway, and he should be at the back of the queue. Um, I forgot he had the Ngannou fight, but that shouldn't really count for anything. Um, so I'm just trying to think the time frame. Would they try and get that sort of penciled in if they were going to make that for Easter, after Easter time, something like that?
I
I
don't
do
see
think
that.
it's
Jerry, let me just stop you there. Jerry, let me
yeah,
stop.
yeah,
I don't see Easter's 3 months from now, right? 3 months from now, right? Fury's
yeah,
just been Fury fights every 10, 11 months, doesn't he?
yeah,
Average. I know he fought 7 months ago, but he'll need a big break now after that. And from what I've heard about his refueling habits over Christmas in Morgan,
right.
he's probably about 23 stone him now. I mean, White Rhino's put 2 stone on
Already?
already. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. In a month.
Unbelievable.
Not even,
So,
is it? What is it? 2 week?
yeah, that's pretty
Pound,
impressive.
£2 a day for 2 week, isn't it? If you're not training, you're just eating at Christmas, aren't you? You can get your hands on.
It's
Rhino
a lot
loves
of
a pig out, doesn't he? Because he doesn't drink.
it's a lot of mince pies then.
A lot of turkey sandwiches with cranberry in it.
Sure is. Well, that's sort of okay. Just getting back to the Fury AJ thing, that puts that fight kind of then like 3 quarters into the year. That means that AJ will be sitting doing nothing for a long time. So that's why I was saying, does he fight somebody in between that, or is he just going to sit at home and wait for the Fury fight? It's just the timing, the time frame seems all wrong. And I don't really see. There's nothing really um in terms of money for either of them now, in my opinion. It kind of, whether you want to see it or not, it's kind of the best of the losers, really, isn't it? So I do think it'll happen, Ross. I just don't know when.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody's just sent me a video. Carl Frotcher's just done an interview with Hamzat Shiraz, Bricktop's fight. Oh my God, what's happened to Cobra? They're pimping the Cobra, passing him about, aren't they? What's
Oh
going on?
dear.
Interviewing Bricktop's fighters now. What's going on? Bricktop will be wetting himself with that one, won't he?
Must have sent them a Christmas card or something. Got on the right side of the Cobra.
Oh my God, the Cobra getting Bricktop fighters on his channel. I can't believe it.
Oh boy.
I'm embarrassed for him. I'm embarrassed. Cobra, I'm embarrassed for you about that one. Pop, pop, bang. That's embarrassing, that, isn't it? My God. It just shows you,
Bit of
doesn't
a
it?
turnaround.
Oh my God. Okay. So we spoke about Fury. We don't believe it were a robbery, do we? We believe who
No, no.
business with him and Fury Joshua next. I don't think that happens, but if it does, what would it be for? Because it wouldn't be for a title, would it? So what would they be fighting for, Jerry?
Uh, they'll be fighting for. They'll be fighting for the in the grand scheme of things, it'll be the losers. Uh, you know, battle of the losers. But the way the mind of the sort of the casual, sort of boxing fan works. We already know that despite everything Usyk has done, he's not really in the forefront of. He definitely has gained some ground in terms of fans, right? But
Yeah.
you know yourself, like the casual guys probably still don't even know who the hell this guy is from Ukraine who's done the business. Flogged AJ, flogged Fury, flogged Dubois, and they'll forget everything that they saw and they'll just buy into it. It's unfortunate, but this is the way. I know people who will be interested in this fight. Because it's the two names of the past sort of best part of 10 years that they're most familiar with, even though it is the end of the line for both of those guys.
They'd be fighting for what though? What how would people buy into it if they put that on it? They're talking a two-fight deal if it happens, one in Saudi, one in Wembley, one at Wembley, and a Battle of Britain and all that. Well, let me just say this. He wasn't so long ago, Fury was saying, I'm not English, I'm Irish, and Joshua's forever running around with a Nigerian flag and he's out there now. So it's when it suits them, innit?
Well, categorically, Tyson Fury's British because that's where he was born, and so is Anthony Joshua, as far as I know, being born in
Yeah,
London.
yeah,
So
I understand that. But when it suits them, the Mexican, Irish, Nigerian,
yeah, yeah,
American.
yeah,
I mean, Fury's been out with American shorts on, Mexican shorts on, Irish shorts, and Joshua's
yeah.
out with Nigerian flag and all that. The slip and slide, don't they? Like Ebony Bridges. 1 minute she's Man City, next minute she's Leeds United. Depends what town they're fighting in, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the whole Fury thing as well, didn't he? I think he won the Irish title or something like that way back in the day. So
If like
I get what you mean.
Rogie.
Oh, was it then? I think it was. I'd need to look it up. I think it was before then, actually, before the Martin Rogan fight. But he obviously has heritage, and that's fine. The same way Anthony Joshua has heritage. But I see what you're saying. The whole chameleon thing. It's just a trying to extend their sort of their popularity really sort of by doing that. And if they're fighting, like obviously when Fury did his whole singing in the States and he had the American flag shorts on,
Yeah.
he's just trying to kind of extend his fan base. Like it's all bullshit. Like we know this, but um, that's all it is really. Probably more of a tactical thing from Tyson Fury because that's just the way his mind works. Like he wants to get everybody on side because then if he's got everybody on side, then he can continue to kind of say the stuff that he says and have it overlooked. Because he's everybody loves him. So, and that's why everybody's bought his bullshit for so long.
Yeah, yeah. You know, heavyweight division at the moment, what do you think to British lads? Because we've got David Adelay. He looks like one for the future. I know he lost against Fabio. We've got David Adelay, and we've got it's Big Freeze in mix. Dave Allen, Johnny Fisher. I know Big Freeze has been knocked out, but they're saying he got caught cold, aren't they? And then we've got at back end, we've got Fury and Joshua have finished. Chisora's more or less done. Joe Joyce is 40 this year, isn't he? So Derek's 42 this year. So these people need to jog on and let this next generation come through. Do you agree, Jerry?
Yeah, 100%. It's just it's because these guys have been at the forefront for quite a while now. You know, maybe longer than they deserve to be,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of that situation where we all know, Russ, how long the division has been parked up. How long did it take us to get this Usyk fight? You know,
Oh,
that's held back.
he messed him about years, didn't he?
Yeah, that's because he thought he was going to gain something by getting Usyk, closer to 40 than ever, and it's backfired spectacularly on him. But it's this whole thing. They hold up the division with this messing around. Not Usyk, mind you, because the belts are kind of held ransom with these stupid continuous rematches. The division gets held up. Guys who are decent, who deserve a shot, are just continuously sitting in limbo. And then it has the same impact then on your domestic level. Because then guys who deserve to be kind of making that's where you kind of have to say Fabio Wardley is kind of now he is just about to sort of break in. Do you know what I mean? So now we need to see him in with world operators in the top 10, top 15, because obviously he's done big freeze. Um, but the negative impact of these older names kind of hanging around longer than they need to goes all the way back to affect fellas on the domestic level then who you kind of want to see come through and start getting in the mix. Do you know what I mean? So I hope Wardley can I don't think he's reached the ceiling yet, but we need to see where it is, So hopefully he gets a decent name in it for his next fight, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. What about David Adelay and Johnny Fisher? Johnny Fisher's coming off a win. Adelay's coming off a win. What about them going at it?
Um, I would back Adelay 100% on that fight, but um, I think Fisher. I don't see how Fisher doesn't take on Dave Allen again. To be honest,
No.
yeah, I think I don't know what the talk is. I haven't heard what is being thought about that at the minute, but I would say those two have to get that on sooner rather than later. But I mean, Dave Allen putting on 2 stone in 2 weeks is a bit shocking. Sort of, I'm not surprised, but um, Adley, I don't know who else he could go for if the Fisher fight wasn't there. It's good that he's got that win under his belt, obviously, because he had that setback. So, would it be crazy enough to stick him in with a Toma or somebody like that? Don't know.
Dave Allen won't beat Atoma. David Adelay, Terry reckons he won't beat him, but we need to see about Atoma tested against a big puncher, don't we?
Yeah.
What about
Not sure.
Yui and
I
Adelay?
probably
What about Yui Fury versus Adelay? Or
yeah.
Yui
I'd watch
against
that.
Atoma? That'd get Yui in mix if he beat Atoma, wouldn't it?
I think that's actually a really good that's actually a good matchup either way, purely because Fury or Huey's coming back. Um, he's had was it 3 or 4 bin men this year. I
Yeah.
mean, he needs to put is he coming back or is he just messing around? So he needs to get himself a
Gotta
name
get a move
people
on
are
now,
talking
Yui,
about.
hasn't he? Yui's got to get a move on. Whoever's matching him or dealing with it behind the scenes. Get a move on, right? He's just lost 2.5 years on it from age of 27, right?
Agreed.
He's just lost 2.5 years. So, and now he's come back with them fights, all wins. Got to get a move on now. You can't be ranked number 9 in UK and looking to fight guys ranked below you. You've got to be going for guys around you or above you now.
Agreed.
Fraser Clark, that's a good fight for Yui. Moses Atoma is a good fight. Johnny Fisher's a good fight. Joe Joyce, Chisora, Dylan White, Wardley, Akoli, all good fights for Yui. All good fights there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 fighters there. Solomon Dakos is even a good fight for Yui. But that'd be his last gimme fight, wouldn't it?
Yep. The Atoma fight is actually really intriguing because imagine Huey upset the apple cart. That would propel him. That would propel him quite far forward because everybody's obviously high on the Atoma thing because he's an exciting new talent. So that's a lovely match to make there. But also Adlai or any of those guys that you mentioned would be interesting because they're kind of names that are still sort of on the end of people's lips. So
Yeah.
they would all serve their purpose to get Huey a little bit further up the ladder again. Because let's face it, he was at world level fighting the likes of Povetkin and Parker, and he's just taken about 30 steps backward. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, the
they're
Parker
all good
fight
matches.
were 2018, wasn't it?
Crazy how long ago that was.
Well, 6, 7 years, 6.5 years, long time in boxing, isn't it? To be in wilderness.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what's happening there. They're waiting for big payday in Saudi. I don't know, but you can't have a number 9 ranking on Boxrec in the UK and nobody's talking about it. What's going on here? Where are we going with this? Do you know what I mean? It's not rocket science, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So he's into his 4th month now. He had a fight. Uh, but he had 3 fights in 2024 from April to September, and then that's it. And these guys are 10 and 15, which you can understand because at layoff, 21 and 3, he knocked him out, and a 9 and 1 beat him on points. So, but where's the momentum now? Has the momentum gone again? Is he injured? What's going on here? Why ain't anybody coming out and doing an interview and saying what's going on with Yui? Can somebody explain it to the fans? That's all. It's a pretty simple question. Is he retired? Is he injured? Or can't they match him? Which is it? It's one of them three in it, or ain't he bothered? They're not going to say he's not bothered. They're not going to say he's retired. Is he injured or can't they match him? It's very simple mathematics. He's at the peak of his age. 30, he's 30-year old. So what is going on? It's not an hard question. He's been a pro now 12 year. 12-year pro. Now, if you're a
yeah,
pro 12 year and you've had 32 fights, what's that? 3 a year. Not even 3 a year, is it? It's 2 a year from
yeah.
debut. So, do you know what I mean?
It'd be good to know, like because, like you said, it people kind of want some clarification on the situation because obviously it was touting this big sort of comeback, and then it was just been tumbleweed blowing past at the minute. So he could well have something wrong with him because he's obviously had health problems. But I mean, you know, it's kind of it's not a very good situation for him, really, his career.
No, he just needs to get a move on. That's all. I'm not having a dig at anybody here. I like to look after my pals. But every now and then we have to say, what's going on here? A bit like with Cobra, innit? What's going on? What's going on out there after all them videos for months and months? What's going on? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't
uh,
get it, me. What's going on there?
that's don't know. Hopefully, he can clear it up for us.
Well, hopefully Carl will clear it up for us. But hopefully, right. Big Mal sat behind his big desk. with his big glasses on and his big ideas, puffing on a large Cuban. Apparently, Big Malk's telling people on Boxing King Media he's a big football agent in Saudi now, apparently. Old
Wow.
fantasist Big Malk. No, nobody's heard of you, Big Malk. What's going on there?
Uh, that's uh, that's interesting. It's good to know that these fantasy island stories are still coming fast and furious from the lips of Big Milk.
Well, listen, I've got mates on my billboard outside my studio. I've got that big 60 foot by 12 foot billboard, on there, right? And one of my mates on there, right, is Everton Football Club's ambassador. And he's very good mates with a multi-millionaire agent from around here. I forgot his name now, the Scottish kid. He
Right.
used to be Joey Barton's agent. Is it Willis Summer? Anyway, to cut a such long story short, none of them have heard of Big Mal, the big
Surely
football
not.
agent putting the big Saudi deals together. So, Big Mal, stop with your Fantasy Island stories. You're like Big Joe Egan with his Mike Tyson sparring stories that we're still waiting for footage of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They fry me head half of these. They just fry my nut. Uh, Yard and Tunde. What's going on there? People are saying that Yard's been frozen out because of Tunde and maybe Big Malk. What do you think about that? Bricktop's froze them out, honey. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think it's a shame, but yeah, I think that's what's happening. And I just feel sorry for I think Anthony Yard's kind of um he's stuck with the wrong guy, and he maybe should have broke away from Tundi and just tried to carve a different route and under the leadership of somebody else, because it's all kind of gone a bit wrong for him, for somebody who had so much promise. And he was kind of an exciting sort of British kind of fighter that people were sort of they were buying into it basically. And it's just went it's just went downhill basically. And now he's in the wilderness, and we don't know what's going on with him. So you can only say that it looks like he's been frozen out, Russ.
It's looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's looking that way, but you're not paying my bills, so hey ho, hey ho. Uh, Johnny Fisher and Ben Whitaker, do they need Dave Allen and Liam Cameron for these rematches, or will the fans turn on them if they bottle it?
Yeah. I mean, Whitaker, that whole thing is unreal. It's done so much damage to his reputation. If you're a stand up guy, like, and you really believed in your reputation and your career, you would take a rematch. So in Ben Whitaker's case, I don't see how, if he avoids that, he's going to look like a complete and utter joke. Everyone knows that. I don't know how he could swerve this, um, because it was embarrassing. We all saw it. We all saw it. Never seen anything like it in my life. And in terms of Johnny Fisher, I'm not getting vibes that he's going to swerve that match with Dave Allen, but I don't get good vibes from Dave Allen. But to me, that fight needs to happen. And the first one was, fairly entertaining slugfest, and we both seen good we seen good sides of each guy. We learned that Johnny Fisher's got a heart, and he's tough. He nearly went down, and I didn't think he was going to survive. So why the hell not? Like, he wouldn't want to take an easy touch after that now, because you know he's had all that sort of Eddie Hills um, hype behind him. It'd be kind of embarrassing if he didn't, be a man and face up to the guy who we all know really should have won. So, again, for his own reputation, he should take the fight.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see, aren't we, Jerry? We're going to see. But
Fingers crossed.
Johnny Fisher needs to take the RHINO rematch, and so does him. So does Ben Whittaker. He's got to fight Liam Cameron. Do you want to go on to part 2, Jerry?
Yes, no worries, mate. See you on that.
See you straight away on there. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. I want to thank everybody for sharing videos as well as subscribing and liking. Leave a comment as well, but thank you for sharing them on your WhatsApp amongst your pals. I've been looking at WhatsApp today, loads of sharing, so that's probably why videos are doing loads better this last 4 or 5 days, I guess. I always forget to tell people to do stuff like that, but thanks for sharing them as well. And liking and subscribing and leaving a comment, right? Now that we've got rid of Jerry off part 1, I can go put kettle on. And then we'll get on to part 2. Booyaka! Max! Don't ring me ever again until you're under 20 stone, you fat pig.